The network is the computer. Sun Microsystems' founding vision is today's internet reality. Globally, there are an estimated 20 million users accessing nearly 4 million host computers, and those numbers are rising daily. Connect to this global network, and there's a good chance you're connecting to a Sun server. Between 55 and 60% of the servers on the internet are Suns, a fact that only seems natural for a company that helped invent network computing.
It always gives me a big chuckle. You're picking up Newsweek and Business Week and Time Magazine. They're going, the internet. And I'm thinking, where have you all been? We've been doing internet at Sun for 13 years, 7 days, 4 hours, and 6 minutes since we started the company. The first thing we did was get hooked up and start sending email and start sharing information across the internet. To us, it's kind of a where have you been to the world?
We have customers, business customers, who want to put information up on the internet. And so we provide a marketplace, we call it Marketplace MCI, in fact, to allow them to put content on the network and engage in electronic commerce. One of the problems we had was to figure out how we could deal with an increasing demand for this kind of service. So we turned to Sun Microsystems to develop platforms on which, scalable platforms on which to mount the marketplace service.
I like to think of the internet as today like multi-party lines 20 or 30 years ago on the telephone lines. You had to share a phone line, and the internet is like that. Today everyone is talking and broadcasting to everyone else without any confidential data. So every customer I know wants to be on the internet desperately, but does not want to give up confidential information. Netra is targeted at making it very easy to get on and also to protect their information. We start with access, then we add security, because it needs to be secure, and then we add interactivity so that you can interact with the computing devices that are on the other side of the network. The three together establish a new platform for computing that becomes the next definition of cyberspace.
Sun is a major player in the key standards-setting groups such as the Internet Society's Internet Engineering Task Force and the ATM Forum, a group working to enhance high-speed multimedia transmission. Sun is also a charter member of CommerceNet, an industry consortium that is developing a system of electronic financial transactions for the Internet.
The internet was developed primarily in the Unix world, and there's a reason for that. The accident in the United States that the Bell Laboratories software, Unix, could not be sold. That was an accident of American antitrust law. The phone company can't sell computers. By that accident, Bell Laboratories gave Unix away, which meant that the source code came to Berkeley, to UCLA, to New South Wales, to the University of Tokyo, to everywhere in the world interested in networking and computing. When you have the source code, you can add to it, fix it. The world community can work on it. That was the history of Unix. So the rising tide of tens of thousands of the world's smartest people fixing things is what's the foundation for Sun and for the entire Unix community and for the internet.
Well, Sun has always been an innovator from the very beginning. They've been aggressive and always, promoted the notion of the network as the computer. We think that Netscape is innovative too. Sun was based on open standards, and we think that the whole sort of Mosaic revolution and the Netscape commercialization of it, if you will, is fundamentally occurring because of open standards, so we share that point of view.
Education, R&D, science, business, entertainment, healthcare, government. If it's not already on the internet, it will be soon. Even the White House is now online and on Sun. Sun's own SunSite server is the most accessed commercial server online, averaging over 300,000 hits per day. For customers, researchers, analysts, students, or the general public, a visit to a global corporation is now like a trip to the local mall. And Sun is continuing to add to its 10 sites around the world in Japan, Northern Europe, Russia, South Africa, and the US.
Without the internet, you can't be global. Without electronic communications, you can't be global. I mean, can you think of the idea that you depend upon market reports coming in by mail in this day and age? I mean, you just can't do that anymore. And the whole idea behind the internet is that you let it evolve and you let people go and do on it. I mean, so you have the maximum innovation. The whole principle of the internet is to let innovation thrive and not try to limit innovation by having one vendor say, wait a minute, I don't want you to do anything that doesn't exactly conform to my model that might disturb my proprietary advantage. The internet is the exact opposite of that.
One of the most important things in the last year has been the explosion of interconnection. With cheap modems, with cheap access to the internet, we're now possibly 40 million people and increasing exponentially. That is, it will be 80 million people in the next year or two. The arrival of this web of interconnection and the ease of access means even a child can participate in a conversation about something on the net, and that something is everything. We don't all need to be the world's smartest person to invent everything new. The power of the network is that whenever you want to know about what is new and learn it from the smartest person in the world, they're on the net.